Hey, welcome to the next barosphere or layers of the Earth lesson. Now, this one's called Composition of the Earth, layers of the Earth, and we're going to talk about the function of the layers. Now, this chart, we looked at this in the last lesson, and we're just going to go over it real quick. Usually I would do this lesson like a day or two later, or maybe the next week, but there's a pretty good chance that you just watched the last one. So let's just do a real quick review of the first barosphere lesson. So we have the barosphere, which is the heaviest part, the heaviest elements and the heaviest particles went down to the middle. Baros stands for heavy, spheria stands for sphere, heavy sphere, comes from Greek, okay? Lithosphere is the rock. It means stone in Greek. That's all the trees, everything on the surface of the earth, right? All the rocks and trees and plants and floors and cars and all that stuff. Next, we have the hydrosphere, which is the water. Hydra comes from Greek, means water. And then the atmosphere, atmos, which is Greek for vapor. So each of those elements, like we talked about, or each of those particles, like we talked about in the last lesson, settles according to its weight. Just like the experiment where we had the molasses and the water and the oil and then the air on top. Now, what we're going to talk about today is how the barosphere affects us, right? Now, if you think about it, well, the barosphere is really pulling everything down. And I'm gonna show you something really cool. And I always make a really big deal out of this. Now, I'm gonna show you something. You ready? Here we go. Okay, in my hand, I have a cotton ball. Ready? I know. Let me do it again. I'll do it so it drops over by the other camera. Now, it's not really that exciting, but if you were here, I'd make a big deal about it and you guys would laugh and kind of roll your eyes. So you can roll your eyes right now. Okay, thanks. Now, what happened is the barosphere is so heavy, there's so many heavy particles in there that it actually pulls other particles to it and it keeps us on the ground. Now, I would ask you to stand up and jump. Okay, when I jump, I did not go floating off into space, right? When I take this and I throw it up in the air, it comes back down. It's because the barosphere is pulling us down. Now, another way we can look at it is with this. I have three items. I have a very powerful magnet. I have a 3x5 card, or maybe that's a 4x5 card. I don't know, it's one of those cards. And I have a paper clip. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare these two parts of the barosphere, okay? This magnet is gonna be the barosphere, okay? I'm gonna take this is going to be the lithosphere, okay? And then the atmosphere and the hydrosphere here. Now, what's gonna happen, I'm actually gonna do it up here, is that as the Earth goes around, okay? As the Earth goes around, the barosphere is so heavy that it holds all the other layers of the Earth on, okay? They don't fall off, they don't float off into space. And so what this does is this is creating gravity. Okay? This is gravity. The barosphere is so heavy and so massive, and there's so many particles in there that it creates the gravity that pulls us and keeps us on the Earth, okay? A lot of follow-up work we can do with this one as well. If you wanted to make your own sort of experiment to test gravity, you could. If you wanted to do the super fancy cotton ball test, you could do that, but that's a pretty short follow-up. I think a really good thing is to just maybe read about gravity, maybe do some research on it. But if you think of something else great, definitely do it and definitely share it with me on Class Notebook. All right, thanks guys.